Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
No more Earth, Wind, and Fire?
No.
All of today's guests, including Craig Button, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Book your next corporate or private event at the Bayside in Parksville. Whether it's a small, intimate event or a large gathering of up to 100, the Bayside is ready to accommodate. Choose from their extensive banquet menu created by their talented chef. Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
With focus on fresh seasonal ingredients, call 250-248-8333 or visit BaysideResortParksville.com. For the first time of this new Donnie and Dolly, the team season, we bring in from TSN their scouting director, Craig Button. How are you, sir? How's the summer?
I am great, Donnie and Rick. I am. The summer's been fantastic. Lots of, you kind of get into that, kind of take a deep breath, and then you really get to enjoy a lot of different parts of it. The summer has been terrific in Calgary and different places we've gone into Northwestern Ontario and Montana. So it's been a really good summer. Hope the same for you.
Craig, do you mind after this hit if you could send us your phone and we could look through it?
Yeah.
If you don't mind. What do you buy all of this from Spittin' Chicklets and Mike Babcock combing through Boone Jenner or asking to comb through Boone Jenner's phone? Are you buying this?
Well, I mean, here's a couple of things that I would say. I mean, I haven't heard any comment from Mike Babcock. I haven't heard any comment from Boone Jenner. I haven't. So everybody deserves to have their say in this and everything. But, Paul Bissonnette reported it. And Paul Bissonnette, with whatever information he was able to obtain, he named names. And, and when I say named names, he named Mike Babcock, he named Boone Jenner. And what you want to try to understand through the process is, okay, Paul Bissonnette has made, this assertion. Now, okay, Mike Babcock, Boone Jenner, Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's see what you, what say you? And the NHLPA is investigating. I mean, again, this is coming on the heels of what just happened at Michigan State University with the football coach Mel Tucker. And people say to me, "Oh, why would somebody do this? Why would somebody do that?" And I can't answer that. But what I can do is invoke a quote from Albert Einstein. And the quote is this: the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. So I'm not going to put anything past anybody, but I'm also going to give everybody the opportunity to speak to it. But what I would say is this: I mean, these types of assertions by Paul Bissonnette, I think that this idea of a dressing room or in any type of scenario, a closed environment where you can't speak, those days are far gone, and people better realize it. And if Mike Babcock or any coach or anybody for that matter in a leadership position thinks that they can carry on in this manner in an environment of silence, you are sadly mistaken.
Craig, what Mike Babcock was up to through the years came out publicly eventually. Were you aware of the way he conducted business before that?
No, I can't say I was. I've known Mike a long, long time, and we know his acumen as a coach based on the record. But one of the things that I read Mitch Albom yesterday, and one of the things he said, we really don't know anybody unless we're there around them on a regular. We know what the front is. We know, and like I said, I know Mike for a long time, but I wasn't aware of them. But I was just at the summit, over the board summit here in Calgary on the weekend, and put on by Hockey Canada, and really I think important work. But one of the things that I wish that I would have said this at the time, and I didn't. But the question kept being asked: why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? And in my head, it just kept swirling around in my head. We are here because Rick Westhead reported on the problems with Hockey Canada. He exposed the whole thing. That's why we're here, because the curtains got drawn back. They didn't get closed. The door was open to what was going on. And so how we proceed from here is a very different question. And I'm not being hard on myself, but I wish I would have said that because it was asked a number of times. And so as we're moving forward and we're trying to create, and I'm going to paraphrase Sheldon Kennedy, kids use sport to try to feel a sense of pride, of character building, of like achieving their goals and belonging. And sometimes they're trying to move from a situation, not sometimes, a lot of cases, from situations that aren't ideal for them in sport. So now they're not getting that in their own environment. Now they're looking to sport to provide it, and they're not getting it there. So now kids have this sense of, oh boy, where do I turn to try to develop? We have to eliminate that in every single way. And one of the things, I know Mike Babcock, had an interview and he talked about, I'm going to have a mental health plan for all the players. Okay, great. I don't want to hear the talk. I want to see the walk. That's what I think about Sheldon Kennedy. When he came out back and accused Graham James and so, well, a lot of people, oh yeah, Sheldon Kennedy, how can you take what he says, right? That took a lot of courage. And we have to encourage courage in terms of speaking out. We can't tolerate this.
Craig, the 15th captain in the history of the Vancouver Canucks is Quinn Hughes. Your thoughts? Do you like the decision?
I absolutely do. I've known Quinn for a long, long time. I've known the Hughes family. So, you get somewhat of a front row seat to somebody maturing. You get to watch him as a player. We all have seen what a terrific young player he's become, and certainly a frontline player as a defenseman, not only for the Vancouver Canucks, but in the entire National Hockey League. But you reach an age where you also you're more sure of yourself. You can assert yourself. And I know Rick Tocchet talked about this, but when he asserted himself last year talking about Tanner Pearson, that's a good example of, that's not right. We got to move. That's leadership. Leadership isn't just rah, 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 let's go get them. Leadership is speaking up for those that might not have a strong enough voice, that don't feel confident in their voice. And it also requires, speaking out when it's hard. And I think that Quinn Hughes, he demonstrates clearly through his play. But I also think that he's clearly demonstrating in so many other ways off the ice that he is a voice that can be followed, that you can not only understand, but he's going to provide insights and he's going to help people be the best they can be. It doesn't fall solely on his shoulders, but and he's somebody that's he's grown up in the Vancouver Canucks organization. I think it's a terrific choice for captain.
Craig, Bluger, Suter, Cole, Soucy, we haven't talked to you since the July 1st editions. What do you think of those, and are the Canucks closer to a playoff spot in your eyes?
Yeah, you always, I'm reminded of what Daryl Sutter told me many years ago. He said, we all have an ideal, and I have an ideal of what a team should look like. I talk about, top 4 defensemen, top 2 pair defensemen and everything. But sometimes, even though we have that ideal, we know exactly what we would like it to look like, you can't always just get to that point. So when you're trying to improve, sometimes the improvements are incremental, but they're improvements nonetheless. Do I think that the Vancouver Canucks have improved themselves in certain areas? Yeah, I do. And does that move them closer to the playoffs? Yes, it does, in my view. You have a number 1 goaltender. You have a number 1 defenseman in Quinn Hughes. We know how good the offensive group is. Rick Tocchet has come in and tried to say, hey, listen, we need to be a little bit more attuned to certain areas of the game that will give us a better chance of success. But I think these additions are ones that, do they fit the ideal box? We can debate and discuss whether it does or it doesn't, but they're improvements. And I think they're good, solid improvements that allow the Vancouver Canucks to think about taking steps ahead. Actions are going to speak louder, but I think they put themselves in a better position going into this season than they have in previous seasons.
Craig, you're in Calgary. The Flames don't have a practice facility as we speak. They're going to get one with their new arena. The Canucks then would be the only team in the National Hockey League without a practice facility. How important is it for a team to have its own practice facility?
The only thing that I can think about right now is Allen Iverson. Practice.
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 What's practice?
Maybe we should have banned the practice arenas. Anyway, Again, I've seen where the Vancouver Canucks, have expressed that these are things that they have to do, and you start off with a place that you're going to play in. The arena that they play in is good, but there's other amenities now that are important to the success of a franchise that are important to the players. In terms of not just practice facilities, but everything that goes with it. That sense of, okay, where do I go and work out? Where do I train? And all the individual parts of it too. So I think it's important, and I think that with Calgary, it's still a few years away, and Vancouver now trying to work to that. I think all franchises understand the importance of it, and now it's trying to find a way to get that accomplished.
Thanks for doing this, Craig. As we welcome you back for another season of Donnie and Dolly, it is amazing. The shirts that you wear, they're just absolutely beautiful, and they all somehow manage to go with the beautiful salmon-colored wall you have in the background. That's a talent. That's very impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you. I told Ryan I had to come out of the gates hot because I know that you two guys are hot every single day, every minute you're on. So I just want to help it along.
Craig, thanks so much for this. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, glad to be part of it. Thank you very much.